Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Today's episode is a pre-fight show for UFC Fight Night. Rodríguez versus Caceres, and this is pretty much one stacked UFC Fight Night. Going to be taking place live in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's going to be good homecoming fight for Court McGee, who won season 11 of The Ultimate Fighter, and he's fighting on the prelims. Okay, so this is a pre-fight show of the main card with a pre-fight rundown, and let's get started. So the main event is here: Rodríguez versus Alex Caceres, aka Bruce Leroy, and this is a good featherweight matchup. I say the winner of this fight is like borderline top 10 in the featherweight division. So you got Rodríguez, he's a young prospect. Bruce Leroy, he's Alex Caceres, he's not that old still, and they're both going to come out throwing flashy strikes, I think. But I think that Rodríguez is going to be the smarter, more technical fighter, and his wrestling and takedown defense gotten better over time since being on The Ultimate Fighter Latin America. And I see him getting a big knockout somehow, mid to late in the first round. So I picked Rodríguez KO round 1. Then in the co-main event, we have another featherweight clash with Dennis the Menace Bermudez versus Hani Jason. Hani Jason, he's a crusher. He could knock anyone out, submit anyone. Dennis Bermudez, more of a grinder. He's more of a wrestler based. He is good at winning decisions, and I think he does just that. I think he plays it safe, and he goes for those single and double leg takedowns, and his submission defense in top position holds up pretty well against Hani Jason. And so I got Dennis Bermudez winning by unanimous decision. Then in the middleweight division, we have Chris Camozzi versus Tally's Ladies. Both experienced veterans. Chris Camozzi's kind of been under the radar for years in the UFC, and Tally's Ladies, he's made a big comeback in the UFC for the most part. He did suffer a loss against Michael Bisping, but for the most part, he's been looking pretty consistent and pretty good. Tally's Ladies, he's good at jiu-jitsu. He's showed that he's had knockout power, and I say he gets a submission win over Chris Camozzi. I think his jiu-jitsu skill set is way better than Chris Camozzi. Chris Camozzi is capable of being submitted by top-level grapplers. Not taking anything away from Chris Camozzi, he's okay, but Jacare Souza was able to submit Chris Camozzi, and I say, why not Tally's Ladies as well? So I got Tally's Ladies winning by submission round 2. Then in the welterweight division, we have Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Zach Cummings. Zach Cummings, talented veteran. Santiago Ponzinibbio, man, this guy, again, he can do it all. And I think he gets a knockout round 1. I think it'll be his night. I think he'll find his range, and he will get the knockout pretty early on. Then in the middleweight division, we have Trevor Hot Sauce Smith versus Joe Guglielmotti. I think I said that right. Anyways, Trevor Smith, he's had fights in Strikeforce, he's had fights in UFC, and I got him. I think his experience pays off in this fight. I think he gets it done by unanimous decision. I think he just mixes it up. He doesn't necessarily gain big shots per se, but I mean, he's a talented fighter, and I think he wins by unanimous decision due to outpointing his opponent with strikes. So I got Trevor Smith winning by unanimous decision. Then to kick off the main card in the women's strawweight division, we have Marina Moros versus Danielle Taylor. And Marina Moros, she is really good with those arm bars. I say she gets one in the first round in this one. And I had Marina Moros as possibly the next Ronda Rousey, but the strawweight version of it. and 'cause she was winning all her fights by submission for the longest time. And then she had that hiccup against, I believe, Joanne Calderwood. But she's been able to bounce back, and I think Marina Moros is a prospect to look out for in women's strawweight division. She gets it done, again, by submission round 1, possibly armbar, maybe a heel hook, maybe rear naked choke, but I'll say armbar most likely. Yeah, then to, then an honorable mention on, I gotta of course bring it up, being Cub Swanson being a local guy in my area. He's fighting in the main event of the prelim section of this card, and he's fighting Tatsuya Kawajiri, experienced veteran, has lots of fights. So does Cub, of course. And yeah, this is a featherweight clash. And Cub, if you're watching, I'm picking you by first round knockout. I think your knockout power is still there. You have heavy hands. You're gonna want, knowing you want to keep this fight standing. And in this case, it will pay off, and you will get a knockout first round. So there's my prediction, Cub, if you're watching. And then, I gotta bring up Teruto Ishihara versus Mauricio Gutierrez, because I met Teruto back in LA back in June. Great guy, and I am picking him first round knockout as well. I think this guy is capable of finishing fights. So Teruto, if you're watching, I enjoyed UFC Road to the Octagon, and I'm picking you by first round knockout. So that wraps up my pre-fight show. Stay tuned in the coming days for my post-fight show for this card. And until then, see ya.